Hey, what's up, guys? I don't know. I guess I'm trying to, get motivated and shit, and then I go and I see one of, I could say, like my YouTube friend, but it's Homebrew Subaru, and with him, I just got done watching his video, and it seems like me and him, like we feed off of each other, in terms of, I mean, with me, in terms of this channel, I don't do it for, like fame, money, or any of that. I do it for really myself in terms of, growth and see how much I progress and whatever. But then it kind of, like bleeds into in the terms of I have some, maybe like it's a handful. Maybe it's only like 3 people. Shit, even maybe 2 or even maybe 1 that people are like, when I put up a video they comment, and especially like there's a dude like need some time or need more time, I can't remember his tag, but he's always asking questions. And I mean, shit, if someone's got questions, ask. That's as simple as that. So with that being said, I know what Homebrew, he's kind of mentioned me in the past in terms of stuff, and I think it's just one of those symbiotic relationships to where we're not in the physical sense, but we kind of are there, and we feed on each other's powers, or what do you call that, energies. But anyhow, had a good day, well, slightly good day on the boat. You'll see that after. Basically, we were going through these like little canals, and good thing I was going idle speed because it was a no wake zone. But the fucking steering broke on me, bro. So I'm like turning left, and I got my uncle there, who's the the original owner of the boat. And he's like, "Lou, what are you doing?" It's like, "I'm turning left." So I had to throw that bitch in reverse. And luckily, I like we weren't going fast, so that was great. Just hit it in reverse. It slowed down the boat a little bit, but the back quarter still hit the piling. No damage since it was just on. But what ended up happening was the steering underneath the helm, there's this gear with the steering cable that goes. Most likely that shit had wrung out. So I had no steering. So after that, I basically had to, my uncle was doing the throttle, and then I was doing the actual physical of the turning, like I had a damn tiller motor. I mean, it was fun, fun and games, drinks and all that. But I got something for you guys. I'm going to put the focus over here. But I wasn't going to do this because I don't, like people talking about these, unboxing videos. But I ended up getting these bad boys in the mail. Now, I haven't opened them yet. Well, all I did was just, rip them out of here. And then I was like, oh, let me, do this, whatever. But kind of mad because these jumped up in price about $70 compared to what I originally could got them. And whatever. So they came with this. I got this one, this other rod. So what I can do is take out this wrist pin right here. And I mean, I guess I can kind of, like go through the steps and show you guys like how simple it is. Because realistically, all it is taking this guy. When I close it, it closes it. If you wanted to, when you close it, expand it, because there's different type of race snap rings, the way that they work. This is a cheap Harbor Freight tool, but all you got to do is just unbolt this guy and then put this guy on the opposite side, and it actually changes the orientation. I mean, again, when you get to play with it, you can figure it out for yourself. But from here, the big thing is going like this. Get the other hole in there, squeeze it. And then you got to kind of, I need 2 hands here. But what you'll do is, make sure that the pressure is down. And then when you squeeze it, you will, let me see if I'm good to do it one-handed. No, I'm not. I suck. But you'll hold it, get it to where it sits and stays. And then, basically pull it out. And then you can slide out this pin from the other side, because both sides have these snap rings. And basically what I plan on doing is sliding this snap ring on the small end bore of the this piston. Now, I guess with that being said, we're gonna do this unboxing. So this is how they come from the Chinese manufacturer, which AKA goes to you know, Eagle rods, or even now they got these labeled as scat, you know, rods or whatever. These were CX Racing. They, when I went, I had it as a watched item for $280. That shit jumped up to $1,300. But you know, when you go here and you look at this, you know, you're seeing that brass insert, you know, for the piston as well. I mean, it was for the wrist pin, and then as well as, you know, the oil gallery, and then, you know, what's down here. Even looking, you know, the finishing, you can't even see. I mean, you can see it there, in terms of where the ends connect. I'm over here trying to like zoom or, you know, focus on this shit. But you know what I mean? I'm just hoping that shit, for the price that I paid, I ain't gotta, you know, worry. But I don't, you know, have a crank available to check in this big end. But I do have this guy. So what I'm gonna do, I'll pop this guy out, slide it out, and then just take the wrist pin and see how well it goes inside here. Because if it doesn't slide in too well, either this got to be bored out, which is the easier thing, or you gotta, you know, make the wrist pin smaller. You know, technically, since this is brass, it would be easier to do that. But I mean, this is the thing, you're going with these Chinese components. They're probably the same thing you get from Eagle. All Eagle does is just, you know, put like their own, you know, stamp on there, whatever the case. But shit, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Alright, so I ended up popping out both wrist pins because I was trying to just use a little, you know, flat blade screwdriver to push that out. It won't really work because the tolerances are so tight. You know, it'll kind of shift to one side. So what you want to use is a you know, something that will meet. And this is a 5/8 what do you call it thing? When it goes in there, it just spins freely. It's on the outer, you know, thing of the wrist pin, so that should help, you know, put pressure all around and kind of just shoot through. So here you go, no difficult pounds, just you know, little tight snaps that's gonna apply even pressure coming straight out. You know, I just wanted to kind of document it. I'm trying to be better in terms of documentation. But basically, yeah, that's, you know, what's up. So don't go all crazy and trying to get it out, you know, any other way, because you will damage it. So now I went and I popped out the wrist pin. Yeah, you can see that there. You can see the scoring, you know, done from it rotating. But now I got my socket stuck in here. Now, what would be nice is to find a nice dowel, you know, wooden dowel, whatever, that would sit for that. But I have this, you know, I don't know, it was some type of piece from whatever. I mean, it fits right in the middle of the socket. So I essentially should be able to tap that down and stop making the socket a wrist pin. So if you run into that issue, you know, don't go and like do the same thing. Just think shit through. And that's what's up. So I'll pop this out, get that, you know, just separated out of whatever, and then see how that mates to that bad boy. Alright, so I got this bitch replaced, or not replaced, but popped out. You know, the socket's not the fucking thing. And when I pulled this off, I don't know if you guys can start seeing it. Like, I noticed that there's this coloration. Then you can kind of see that there's a ridge right here. And you're like, what the fuck? Because that should all be one solid, you know, like machine face type color, whatever. And then you go and you're like, what the fuck is that? That shit got cut. And you can see that it cut the brass. I'm over here trying to focus it. But it cut the brass on it, and it made that shit tapered. So as me not being an engine builder or anything, what could cause, you know, that tapering at the top? And the first thing that kind of comes to mind for me is thrust washers, which is you know, basically you're looking at the relation. This motor, you know, this rod is going, you know, around in a circle here. All it is really doing is just going up and down. In order for that to cut means that that crank should either be swaying, which is called crank walking. So I don't know if maybe that's why this motor experienced that, because this top wasn't true to the crank journal, and it was just walking back and forth, and it just caught it at an angle, which caused this. So that brings me up to another, you know, issue, because stay up, my friend. Stay up, my friend. All right. This one's got a thing, but look at that one. That is nice and true. It's a true flat place. This one obviously is a bend bow. You see that shit going in, which what caused that issue? That's where I'm trying to, you know, like trying to figure out. And then now, just in terms of this, I'm gonna do this live. I'm not gonna, you know, do it. It's, oh shit, not even, bro. Look at that. And then when you go and you look at the axial, you know, like thing, I'm going like this. I'm not really feeling no thing. That's what you guys call the turbo shaft bearing wear, is that they go up and down. This one's nice and tight, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, look how smooth that went out with no lube, no nothing. And I rather a little looser tolerances, because, you know, looser tolerances give you a little bit of I guess free play in terms of the limit and damage. That I'm not too sure, so I will, you know, have to inspect and see. Well, you know what, not even inspect and see, because this isn't the motor that got fucked up. Yeah, so I kind of got lost in somewhere where that video, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about, some crazy shit. But yeah, no, I guess once I open up that next block, then I can see if maybe I'll keep an eye and see what's up with that. You know, we're looking at this, and even you can see that it's bowing out. So I don't know if the cause of this was really hydrolock, or if it was just, you know, wear that eventually you know, caused that, because, you know, that should definitely be straight. I mean, if you put that guy in there, you know, look at all that wear. So I don't know if maybe that's a sickness, maybe something with the wrist pins, I'm not too sure. But until I open up that next block, then I can, you know, definitely see. But at least, you know, these rods, they're upgraded. I already got rod bolts, and I don't know, when I open up that next block, which I gotta take off the flywheel, drop this guy down, and then jack that up and start disassembling that, just to see. It doesn't even really make sense. I guess the only thing is because I wanted to pop out a piston and just look at the ring lands and you know, inspect. But you know what, I'm starting thinking, like, I already know what's fucked up on here. So if I just start going here, since I got it up on here, just go break it down, open up valve, what do you call it, ring gaps, and then send it on its merry way. So we'll see what's up. But all right, guys, like,